Hey guys, Tush coming back at you. It's getting up to be about 6:45, still on Saturday night, and I've got the garage up to 21 degrees Celsius, almost 70 Fahrenheit. So me and Judas Priest are hanging out in the garage, and we started sanding down that first repair section. You can see I've got a little low spot here still, and I got a little low spot in here still. So I'm going to clean that up a bit, and then we're going to do a little glaze coat. So we'll get those two areas fixed up, and then we'll move across to the other side. Alright, thought I'd just give you a quick update. Good for now. Hey, good morning guys. Tush coming at you. It's Sunday morning. It's 10 o'clock, just coming up on 10. Popped out earlier in the morning, about 8 o'clock, and we threw the heat on in the garage. It's just getting up to about 65 Fahrenheit. It's probably about 18 degrees Celsius, so comfortable in the garage. Back on the car and back on this saddle piece. I did put before I went in last night, I put another quick coat of filler on this little low spot here, and we'll sand that off this morning. I did sort of finish the other side, not 100%. I still had a little bit of a low spot, so I went back and added a bit more filler into here. So that's got to be resanded down. But this spot's looking really good. This spot's looking pretty good. So we're getting closer on this little saddle piece. I'm going to do a little bit more work here on this channel section. There's a few spots that need to be sanded back out smooth before I can get this into I'm going to throw a coat of Etch primer on the bare metal, and then I'm going to go over with epoxy primer. So who knows, maybe we'll get to do that today. Anyway, that's it for now guys. We'll come back with an update later on. Talk to you later. Hey guys, quick update. It's 5 after 11, and I think I'm pretty much done on this area. Looking pretty good. Probably a little bit more sanding to do on the channel here. It's a little rough in here. And the other side's looking pretty good. So there's that repair spot there. So I'm pretty happy with that. Again, just a bit more work I think needs to be done on the channel here. That spot looks pretty good. So yeah, getting pretty close to getting some primer on this. We'll do a little bit more sanding, and then maybe we'll do a bit spraying. Talk to you later. Hey guys, Tush coming at you. It's about 10 after 1, and I'm just getting ready set up to do the self-etching primer. So I'm using the MP550, and that's got to be mixed 1-to-1 with the MA505, the activator. I got the tech book here, just reading up on it. Getting ready to go. Got my test piece of paper stuck up. I've got my gun set up, my cup and my filter ready to go. I've got my area taped off. I'm just going to do the non-bondoed areas with the self-etching primer, and then I'm going to do the epoxy over top of the whole thing afterwards. So it is sanded down with 180 grit, so should have a good enough scratch there for the primer to work. I'm also going to hit the that transmission tunnel cover with a little bit of the self-etching primer too. We'll give that a good coat before we get that into epoxy as well. So that's been all cleaned up, wiped down. Been using the Eastwood pre-cleaner for my pre-prep. Wiping it down with blue towels and then tack rag. So that's about it. We'll get to mixing the primer up, and we'll be spraying shortly. Talk to you in a bit. Hey guys, okay, it's about 3 o'clock. Just got back out in the garage, took a break for lunch and to let the primer dry. And it looks pretty good. So that new gun, I guess it worked okay, although I was having problems with the spray pattern. It's actually spraying. You know, I played around with it on some adjustments, but it seems to be spraying a lot heavier on the bottom than it is on the top. So it's not even spraying. Usually I think you get, you know, two, if it's not adjusted properly, you'll get 2 spots that are pretty dark on the edges and a little lighter in the inside or the center. But for some reason this one wants to spray sort of darker or more volume on the lower point than it does on the top. There's a couple others here. You can see here as well. I don't know if that's coming out or not. It's a little bit fuzzy on the camera, so it's hard to see if you can actually see that. So yeah, it seems to put more material on the bottom edge of this spray pattern than it does, and I was holding the gun properly. So anyway, this one's a little bit faint, you know. Yeah. So you can see this one here. It's got, you know, the same sort of amount of material on the top and the bottom, but it's a little light in the center. Anyway, so I'm not sure about that gun. I think this was probably the best one here. It would seem to be the most uniform. It looks like the camera's having trouble picking that up. So anyway, so I'm not quite sure about that little mini gun. Anyway, I did use it to spray this, and it looks like it came out okay. I tried not to spray over the Bondo too much. Just tried to hit the bare metal, but of course I had some overspray on the Bondo, and we'll sand that down a little bit more. Hang on a second. So yeah, I'm going to scuff this. I think Darren prefers to scuff his with, even though it's can be recoated, I think up to 24 hours. Have to check the tech sheet, but within a window it can be recoated without sanding. But I think Darren prefers to scuff his primer up with a little Scotch-Brite, so I'll end up doing the same before I put the epoxy on this. The transmission tunnel turned out okay. Looks good actually. Looks a lot better than it did. So that's ready to go to the next step. So all in all, yeah, I think that's good. I mean, I guess the little gun could have been better, but it was definitely nice not to have a huge gun doing such a small job. Although I could have used it for this transmission tunnel. I could have used the larger gun, but I was really kind of keen to try out the touch-up gun. Anyway, that's it for now. Like I said, I'm probably going to, not sure about continuing on with this project today or not. Started to rain outside now. So anyway, we'll see what I'm going to do. Regardless, I'm going to keep on working. I may just sort of go back to here. I'd started putting some filler in the edges of this rear panel. So maybe we'll continue on back here and just leave that for another day. I probably finish this area, etch prime this area, and then come back and do epoxy on both areas at the same time. So maybe that's the plan I should follow, since I'm going to have to scuff that anyway. Alright, we'll talk to you in a little while.